this is Scott Winges at ZenLedger. I'm joined today by Justin Macari at MacTax. We're going to show off the new ZenLedger Tax Pro software. It's a Tax Pro suite to help you manage your clients' crypto assets and get those tax returns done. Justin's going to show it off a little bit. So go for it, Justin.
Hey guys, Justin here with MacTax, ZenLedger tax professional, helping their clients get their crypto taxes done and meet their crypto tax obligations. So a lot of improvements here lately. Scott, you want to explain to them the different ways a CPA can help onboard their clients onto ZenLedger?
Absolutely. So what he's showing here is the dashboard. He has an account that's already kind of set up. He has some clients that he's managing. The way it works is that you can add clients yourself, or a client can add you to their account. There's two different types of accounts that you can have. You can have a managed account. So this is one where you're doing everything. Your client might not even know what software you're using ultimately, but you can handle everything. Your client's going to send you files separately. Or a shared account. In a shared account, you have a client that maybe they already have a ZenLedger account, or they want to collaborate with you. They have API keys. They want to kind of mess around with it themselves. And that's nice if they have a lot of stuff to upload and they're not great at like attaching it to emails and stuff. So you can have either way. You can set this up. Justin, if you want to click the Add Client button, you can kind of see what this looks like. Here you give your client your name, last name, and email address. It's like the type of account, and you can set it up from there. Some clients like anonymity as well. So if you don't want to, you can put whatever fields here you want. You could put Bob Ross, or whatever it might be for their name. So you can still maintain that, but it's just something so you can track it in the system.
Right. And what's good about this is whether you do client pays or the CPA pays, you could always change that later. You're not stuck with whatever you decide here.
Yep, you have both options available. So Justin, if you go back to the dashboard here, you can see he's got two different tabs. There's active and pending clients. So the pending clients, we have a client right now that has invited him to be his tax pro, and he has one where he sent the client an invitation. So you have either one, and you can resend the invite. If your client says, "Oh, I didn't get the invite," or "didn't see the invite," or whatever, you can resend it as well. So if you go back to pending, Justin, if you click the accept on that one, it'll now kick it over into active clients, and he now has a new client that he can manage. If he wants to go in and check out one of these accounts, maybe Justin, you want to show off the transactions a little bit?
Yeah. So on this screen, it shows you what years have been paid for. And then you can go into their account. This is the same view the client will have if it's a shared access. You see, it gives you a quick overview. You have your gains and losses from the tax year. Little probable missing sources detected. We can go into that later. Getting started with the client, you want to upload all of their transactions. So you go to add account, and whether it's shared or you're handling this process for the client, there's 4 ways of doing it. There's uploading exchanges through sharing the API with a login, or uploading a CSV file. There's a number of exchanges on here. There's custom CSV uploads. Sometimes us as CPAs will have to help the client build their import file and get it into the system. You may have one-off transactions, like layer 2 transactions on blockchain that need to get entered manually. If they did not get picked up from a wallet import, which is the 4th one, where you can, my personal favorite, you paste in the public address, and ZenLedger pulls in all of the information off of the blockchain.
Yeah, so the big thing, what we do here, if you haven't used ZenLedger software before, all these formats from exchanges, from OTC trades, from blockchains themselves, they all look really different. Like if you look at a block explorer, it's very different than the CSV file you might get from an exchange. So we categorize that, organize it, and put it in a form where we can layer tax logic on top of it. The other thing that we do is that we do self-transfer stitching. So we can detect if you are sending it from your Coinbase to your Binance, or Coinbase even to your decentralized wallet. Whichever way it happens, we can catch those, because it matters. It's whether it's a taxable transaction or not, and the cost basis carries over as well. So this is the software in a nutshell, and the Tax Pro suite is kind of a layer on top of it. You can consider it as it's a viewing layer, such that you can kind of manage your clients.
Right. In the suite, it allows you to view all your clients' transactions. Anything that needs review allows you to quickly toggle between the two. This was linked in with a wallet, allows you to go right to the block explorer. This one is Solana, and find your USD cost basis. Let's say you need to pop in and out between clients. If we go back in here, exit and return. If a client called me and had a question, I can quickly jump into this client, which is one of the great things about the dashboard.
Yeah,
go ahead.
The last thing I kind of want to highlight here, if you go to the taxes tab at the top there, so this is your tax summaries. It contains your gains, your losses, tax forms. You can download your 8949, which you typically attach to your tax return. All that type of stuff has happened here. It also calls out, as Justin mentioned, any probable like missing sources or problems, just to make sure that you don't have something coming in wrong. Like this is the blockchain world. This is the crypto world. It's not super vetted 100 years of financial institutions that have like really got this stuff locked down. So we do see weird things. We see transactions coming from an exchange and they're missing transactions. Your exchange is only going back 3 years in history and you started 5 years ago. So it thinks that you are selling assets that you didn't have and that type of stuff. And that can really mess your tax numbers up. So we try to be really transparent with that and to call that out when that type of stuff happens.
Right. You definitely want to review all of your transactions kind of one by one, if you will. Make sure they have the proper categorization, make sure it's got the proper cost basis, and make sure you have all years of transactions, all wallets and exchanges in there. When you get to the fun part of optimizing your taxes, SendLedger's got a great feature, cost basis. You can toggle between first in, first out, LIFO, and highest in, first out to maximize your gains and losses accordingly.
Yeah, that's really the platform in a nutshell. There's a lot of other things, and if you do end up with a really complex account, we worked with a lot of clients that have hundreds of thousands of transactions and that type of thing. There's a lot of different exporting features. You can export everything into a spreadsheet. You can export it into CSV files. You can call out every single taxable transaction. What are the gains and losses associated with it? We call this our Grand Unified Accounting spreadsheet, but this type of stuff exists, and it's typically used by the more professional users, the CPAs, and the what we call crypto whales. So that's really it in a nutshell. For the majority of your clients, you're uploading a few accounts, connecting everything, making sure it's good, and you can submit.
For those clients that are a little more complex, I like to use this snapshot feature. It saves a version history. This way you could go back if something gets messed up. And then lastly, when you're done, you can go onto this screen and download your appropriate tax forms to make sure your client meets their crypto filing obligations. And SendLedger does a great job of printing all of the gains and losses right onto the required tax forms.
Awesome. Well, Justin, thanks so much for joining me today. Appreciate it.
Yeah, pleasure to be here. Thanks, Scott.